Almost took a trip this fall. If you like this video, if it helped you out, do me a favor, subscribe. That helps me out immensely. Don't cost you a penny. It's free, right? What else in this world is free? Hey there, YouTubers. This is a little different than our norm, although I've got a couple of videos on this old lawnmower. And actually they're pretty popular, so hopefully this one will do as well. This is a Craftsman DL 3500 series. And she's broken. I mean, she runs and she drives and she cuts, but the deck has broken free. I mean, free. It has completely busted away from the up and down mechanism, you know. So, we're going to take off the deck, we're going to re-weld it, and we're going to put the deck back on. And I will kind of tell you the reasons why I do the things that I do and how I do them. Some people may say that my ways are antiquated. But as you can probably tell, this lawnmower's, she's not brand new. She's got a day or two cutting lawns on her. But she's still a good mower, burns a little oil, tires keep going flat, and as you can see I had to put a push bar on it because the wife kept smacking into stuff and bending the axles. So, you know, the metal isn't exactly clean, and I'll explain that as we go. First things first, we have to get the deck off of this thing so we can get at it. And then I'll show you exactly what's broken and exactly how we're going to fix it. So, here we go. Let's get started. Because of camera angles and all that good stuff, I'm going to just go ahead and show you what I'm going to do before I actually do it. Right here, underneath the mower, is a little cotter pin. You can probably see it. And we'll get a close-up of it. It's going to pull that cotter pin out, and then this little doodah, which keeps the deck in place, will fall off. Well, you have to pull it up. Then, now we can see what's broken in here. And there's another pin there that's going to come out. We pull that to drop the rest of it, and then we can fix this broken piece, as you can see. I know it's a little dark in here. Maybe I'll get some lights. There, now we can see a little better. There's the broken piece. And there's that little pin I was telling you about we're going to pull out to get this to come loose. Then there's another pin over here. We're going to pull that out. That'll drop. That'll allow this whole side to drop off. And then there's going to be an identical set on the other side. So now that I've got this up in the air, you might be able to see this one a little better. But there you go. So the other one that's identical, well, I guess I'll show you. Just so you don't feel like I've cheated you. Actually, let me drop this down a ways. Make it a little easier to see. But as you can see, she's a little cattywampus now. There's the other side where the pin is. You can see it a little bit better. And then we'll go up here. And you can't see diddly. Well, get some lights. Alright, now we can see. You'll see the cotter pin right there. Well, I don't know if they're called cotter pins, E-clips, whatever you want to call them. There's another one there. Got to pull that one out. And that'll allow me to drop this entire rack out of here, and then we got to deal with the belt a little bit. I think there's one cable. I apologize for the white noise or the fan, but it is hotter than my wife's new bikini in here. It is like 90,000 degrees outside, so I got a fan running. So I'll try to talk loud so the background noise won't bother you none. I'm going to start by pulling this one out. And I'm going to pull this one out. Using a little needle nose vice grip, and that seems to be the best way to hang on to these. Now I'm going to pull this little one out over here. That was easy, right? Now you can just start yanking stuff. Well, that one don't want to come out very easily. I may have to bring it down to earth to get these to come loose, or you can pry them. That one came right out. Alright, that's piece is nearly, looks like somebody's welded it before. Oops, this piece. Looks like somebody's welded it before. With some pretty sloppy welds too, I must admit. Alright, now let's get the other side, and then we'll set it down. We may have to prop something up to get that one out of there. Pull this one. Then this one. And all that's left is that one in the front, which I don't know. There, that worked. Alright, we'll take the belt. I don't know if you can see the belt or not over here. Take the belt off the pulley. Well, I should have done that before. That's alright. There we go. There, now the deck is loose, and we can pull it out and work on it. If you'll notice, there's a cable right here. And this cable is to work the on and off of the bleed. But it's really, really long. So if we pull it out this way, we've got some area to play with. So, well, I'm going to pull it out. We don't want to. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's like brand new. Okay, maybe not. Alright. Now we've got this cable. Technically, actually, I can probably fix it without taking the cable off. So, I got to get some of this grass out of the way because I'm going to make fire. And fire and grass, probably not good bedfellows. Yeah, so let me get this swept off a little bit, and then that one's still good, and then we'll go ahead and get this welded up. Looks like, I don't know what they were doing. Somebody did some crazy stuff. Well, it's good to see that, there wasn't any dirt on that deck or anything. If you'll notice, there's no more deck. It was so bad, I had to take it outside and hose it off because I pulled all of this off it and there was still tons of dirt and silt and nastiness. So I washed it off with the hose, and I noticed, because if you see all this dirt, I guess it's just rotted grass really, it was starting to rust the deck, and that's probably why this broke free, although it had some pretty snotty looking welds on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm finish sweeping this out, and then I'm letting the deck dry now out in the sun. As soon as it's done, I'm going to spray it down with some of my famous or infamous OSPO, phosphoric acid. Get that rust converting, and then after I'm done welding, well, I'll probably wait till I'm done welding to spray it, but I'm going to spray it down with that, and then I'm going to undercoat it so that it shouldn't rust anymore. So it's going to take a little longer. You don't have to do any of that. I'm just going to delay the process a little bit while I preserve on the deck, And I think it'll be worthwhile. It'll keep this deck going a little while longer. But we'll get the welding done and everything, and I'll show you how I'm going to do all that preservation stuff too. And then we'll finish the job. I'm going to start with a wire brush, just so I can get in all the nooks and crannies. this, I don't know, hinge looking thing's all about, but I'm going to take it out of here. Guess we'll use a trusty Leatherman because I don't have a screwdriver nearby. But it's hanging on by a thread anyway. I don't really... Oh, we're going to cut that baby off of there. Okay. So, anyhow, well, look what I just happen to have nearby. A cutoff wheel. Look at that. Woo-hoo. So let's see if I can get it in here. Nope, you're going to have to get a different bite. I need that. Yeah, we'll just grab it right here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. Yeah, we'll adjust. Adjustment finished. Sure what that's all about, but I'm going to try to knock that piece off of there too. Well, gives me a little more to weld to. I might leave that on there. Let's go ahead and clean this side up too. Now, that may all look good, but you need to get fresh metal. And I'm basically going to use the best welding product for dirty metal, because as you can tell, this isn't brand new. But we still want to condition the metal the best we can. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to get a grinding wheel. I'm going to switch out this wire brush, and we're going to grind this so we have fresh metal, not anything with contamination in it. What everybody else may say, I don't do my best work on my knees. My poor knees are not in such great shape from years and years of kneeling on concrete. But there's a whole bunch. It looks like this has been repaired a few times. So it's got a crack from here to here. I'm going to cut this, whatever, off of here. Cut this screw out of here. I'm going to weld this crack, and then I'm going to put the plate back in here, and we're going to see if we can't make this a more permanent fix. But I've got to get all of this cleaned up, and as you can see, we've got a bunch of rust around here. We're going to take care of that later too. Let's start with it.
What we need is just
All right, that looks about where I want it. I'm gonna set up my welder. I'm gonna tack it into place, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish weld it. Now, many of you may ask, why am I going to use a stick welder? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because dirty metal is dirty metal. And what people don't realize is that different materials work better when welding than other materials. Now with stick welding, most popular are 6011, 7018. 7018 is for very, very clean metal, but makes a stupendously strong weld. 6011 is for this, for dirty metal. Rusty, dirty, lots of contamination. 6011 will just about weld rust. And if you'll look back on my rusty Chevy video, you'll see 6011 welding rust. Now I have a MIG welder. I have a very nice MIG welder. It works fantastic. And when I'm building rear ends for people, you know, I shorten rear ends and stuff, or building them for myself, I'll use the MIG because it makes a nice clean weld. This is fairly thin metal to be trying to weld with my stick, but because it's such dirty metal, I'm going to use a stick welder. Now, if it doesn't work out, we may have to resort to the MIG, but I'm 89% sure that 6011 is the best choice. Now, I'm not a professional welder, so you guys that are, you know, feel free to poke, because I'm not a professional welder, but I can weld a lawnmower. Now, if you don't have a welder, this is for those that don't, you know, necessarily weld either. If you don't have a welder, if you get it this far, and if you can grind it even, if you can get it down to this far where we're at now, you can probably take it to a weld shop, and for 50, 60 bucks, I'd imagine that, I think they charge by the hour. I don't really know because I've never hired a weld shop. I don't know how much they charge, but I wouldn't think it'd be much. I think I did go to a weld shop and get a quote one time to fix something. It was like 50 bucks. Because it wasn't a big deal. And I don't think this would be a big deal to weld. Same with transmission shops. You take the tranny out, hand it to them. It's a lot cheaper than if you hand them a whole car. So same thing with this, even if you can't weld. I'm pretty sure if you brought it to a welder at this point, they wouldn't charge very much to, you know what I mean? So anyhow, so this video will be good for those that can't weld as well as those that can. And then of course amateurs like myself that think they can weld. But this is where we're at, and I just noticed that my piece moved. Great. But I'm going to set up the stick welder, and we're going to go ahead and get started. But make sure you get the metal as clean as you can get. That's really the secret, is getting it as clean. And it's still not super clean, and the ducks are playing in all that dirt I just swept outside. Great. Anyhow, let's get back to what we were doing. Now I'm using a small rod. They have different size rods, and this one's like 16th or something. I don't even know, but it's the smaller one. That's all I can tell you. I'm gonna load her up into this, see if it's gonna arc. It is. All right. Put on the old helmet. I'm gonna start with this side. I'm gonna make sure I'm in there, but good. Yeah. All right. We're just gonna tack it. Now I've got it on very low heat, like 100 amp. That's why you see it sticking. But I don't want to go any higher because this isn't very thick. So now I'm going to go ahead and put another tack over here. Alright. Now I should put on my spectacles so I can see what I'm doing. Kind of like welding blind. There. Okay. Really like to go even lower because it's kind of blowing through the steel a little bit. It's just rough shape. But we're going to do the best we can, try not to create too much heat. And let's go ahead and finish weld this. There's a big gap in here that I'm going to have to try to fill up. Well, that certainly ain't pretty, but it should be effective. Now my helmet's malfunctioning. Sure. Oh. Hang on while my helmet malfunctions. There we go. Now, as promised, I'm going to spray some OSPO, as this is called. It's phosphoric acid. It converts rust into hard metal again. Stops rust from becoming more rust. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it all down with this. And I'm going to put it outside because it'll dry faster. Usually you let this dry overnight. I don't have that kind of time today. So we're going to spray it down, put it out in the sun, leave it in, maybe go get some lunch, maybe watch a little YouTube. Take a little break. It's pretty hot out here. I got to close the door because, lighting for YouTube and all. So anyway, we got this done. I'm going to start spraying it down with phosphoric acid. And always wear safety glasses when you're doing this, because it's an acid. I'm trying to get it into all the nooks and crannies as much as I can. The good thing about it, unlike navel jelly, which is kind of the same thing, this stuff, strong. Yeah. This stuff is a liquid. I'm hitting a hot weld and it's making it a little worse than usual. But because it's a liquid, it'll seep. So you just kind of spray it heavy and let it just kind of creep, which is great if you're working on a car. You can get down inside the door jambs and everything else. And in this case, it's a good thing because you're trying to get down behind these pulleys where the majority of the rust is. And that's usually where they rust out, if they're going to. So normally I give this about 24 hours, well 8 at least. Today we're probably going to give it 2, if that. But it is an acid, but it shouldn't hurt the belts at all. If it does, well, I guess we'll find out. But once this dries, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with... The welder is hot where we weld it. We're going to go ahead and put a little undercoating on this bad boy. And that'll be that. I guess we'll try to get all of it. Sure, why not? And maybe get a little bit on the front here. This gets plenty of action, so it's probably not necessary, but there we go. We're going to pull that outside and let it dry. This is the bottom of the can of Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. And I am just literally going to pour this in on the deck and then just spread it around a little bit. It's about had it. The most of the paint in here is solidified. I add a little mineral spirits to try to rejuvenate it a little bit, but she's pretty much shot. But I'm not going to be neat about it. I just simply want to get some paint on here. So we're just pouring it in, spreading it around. It's so hot out here. This ought to dry in record time. This is not, I repeat, this is not a award-winning paint job. Almost took a trip this fall. Rubberized undercoat. Oop, hang on. We gotta mask off this and that. So we're gonna carefully mask this off. Man, this deck is hot. Golly. Alright, now that we've carefully masked that off, now we can undercoat it. Now what I didn't show you is taking this cable off. So I'm going to show you putting the cable back on. Now basically, it's not very difficult. Take this, it fits into a little notch right here. Alright, so you just kind of, there we go, snap it into place. And then, boop. that's all there is to it. It was a little harder to get off because it wasn't going to be as friendly. Now I'm going to go ahead and get these belts where I want them before I stick them underneath the wagon here. Now, I think that is it. That's how you do it, right? Well, no, because it's rubbing funny here. And shouldn't be rubbing that shaft. I'm guessing it's supposed to be under that shaft. Great. So I've been running it wrong all this time. So would it be easier? No, it wouldn't. So I've got to fix this because she ain't supposed to be. Oh, well, maybe so. I don't know. Because it's going to be like, I can't, no, I guess that's right. Because these aren't turning unless it's engaged, and when it's engaged, this is going to be tight. So I guess that's right. Okay, well, anyway, we got this in, and I'm going to shove it underneath the wagon and see if we can't get this thing installed. Well, there we go. It's working. Hope you enjoyed this. If it helped you out, you're able to fix your mower because of this video, please do me a favor and subscribe. Or if you just liked it, subscribe. There's a lot more videos. There's even more on this mower if you want. It wouldn't hurt if you hit the like button either. If you didn't like it, well, why'd you watch it? Anyhow, if you're already a subscriber, thank you. I gotta cut a lawn now, so see ya.